Hello all. Welcome to the GDPR tutorial series, and in this video we will understand the key principles of GDPR. This video will also help you understand the important principles of GDPR and its foundation. Let's get started. The principles of GDPR are listed on your screen. Let's understand each one of them in detail. The first principle is transparency, fairness, and lawfulness. This principle demands transparency, fairness, and lawfulness in the handling and use of personal data. You will need to be clear with individuals about how you are using personal data and will also need a lawful model to process that data. Let's understand this with an example. In the event where personal data is collected to impose a fine for breaking a law, the information is being used in a way that may cause detriment to the individuals concerned, but the proper use of personal data for these purposes will not be unfair. Second on this list is specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes. This principle demands limiting the processing of personal data to specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes. You will not be able to reuse or disclose personal data for purposes that are not compatible with the purpose for which the data was originally collected. Let's understand this with an example. A physician discloses his patient list to his wife, who runs a gym and targets the list for marketing. Disclosing the information for this purpose would be incompatible with the purposes for which it was obtained. The purpose of disclosure should only be for a legitimate and specified purpose. We have to clearly identify our purpose for processing. Moving on, third on the list is minimizing the collection and storage of personal data. This principle asks you to collect and store data which is adequate and relevant for the intended purpose only. We need to ensure that we only collect personal data we actually need for our specified purposes. Let's understand an example for this principle. A recruitment agency places workers in a variety of jobs. It sends applicants a general questionnaire, which includes specific questions about health conditions that are only relevant to manufacturing setup. Thus, in this case, it would be irrelevant and excessive to obtain such information from an individual who is applying for a non-manufacturing job. The next principle is accuracy of personal data. This principle ensures the accuracy of personal data and enabling it to be erased or rectified. Organizations should ensure that the personal data you hold is accurate and can be corrected if any errors occur. Let's see an example of this principle. Medical records of a patient continue to be held as part of a patient's profile even after the diagnosis is corrected, because it is relevant for the purpose of explaining treatment given to the patient, or for other health problems. Moving on. The next principle on our list is limiting the storage of personal data. As per the principle, you will need to ensure that you retain personal data only for as long as necessary to achieve the purposes for which the data was collected. For example, a bank may need to retain images from a CCTV system installed to prevent fraud at an ATM for several weeks, since a suspicious transaction may not come to light until the victim gets their bank statement. The last principle on the list is security, integrity, and confidentiality. This principle ensures security, integrity, and confidentiality of personal data. Your organization must take steps to keep personal data secure through technical and organizational security measures. The organization should implement techniques like data encryption, drive encryption, data loss prevention, role-based access control to safeguard the personal data. I hope the content was useful. Please subscribe to the channel to stay on top of all the upcoming videos on GDPR and other important topics. Thank you.